Hello Retro Heads, Benny Williams here, back again, and as I said in my last video that I'd have more content on the way, and here is the first load of content. I've got quite a few things planned, a lot of that being me showing my collection, because of course in the future I'm going to be doing pickup videos as well as retro gameplay videos. So I thought, since I've got a fair size collection already, then I'll do a few videos showing that off in between other content as well. So since I've got a fair size collection, I thought I'd show a bit of that off in between a few of the other videos as well. So to start off with, I'm going to start out with my all-time favourite system, the Super Nintendo. I've got shoeboxes full of games, and I'm going to do one at a time in different videos. The idea of this video is for me to show you the game, see if I can remember anything about the game, where I got it from, how much I paid for it, and things like that. So let's see how it goes anyway. So first up, because it was sticking right at the top of the box pretty much on its side, because it doesn't actually fit in the box properly, is Starwing. Over in the US it's known as Star Fox. So just a tip, if you're ever trying to sell a copy of this on eBay, you might want to call it Starwing and Star Fox as well, so like Starwing / Star Fox. So otherwise, if you just put Starwing, it won't go for a lot of money at all. One of the showcase games to go with the Super Nintendo when it was released, it has the Super Effects chip. I believe this is my original copy, and you know, it's in pretty good condition still, no real yellowing or anything like that to it. And this game is an absolute gem. It is brilliant, hard as nails. I've not played it for some time, so I'm looking forward to playing it again. Again, one of the aims of me doing this video is, for the gameplay videos, is to get back into playing my retro games a lot more, because I enjoy it far more than I do on the current gen and things like that. Part of my collection does have current gen and last gen in it, so I'm basically going to be showing everything off, but I'm not going to be covering things like PS3, Xbox 360, PS4 games in any of my gameplay videos. So next up, we've got Striker. Again, original game. Not in terrible condition, needs a bit of cleaning up, but again, there's a tiny bit of aging on it, not too much yellowing at all. And to be fair, I think this is a top-down football game, and I'm not a fan of football. I don't really enjoy football games as they go, but you know, they're pretty fun for a few minutes on the old classic computers. I'm not into the stuff that they've got on offer now. As I say, I don't like football anyway, but I just generally find them boring. But you know, this is quite a fun game. Most of the Snes sports games are, so you know, and it's good to have in the collection still, and one of my original games after all this time. Next up, we've got Cool Spot. I paid £1.49 from it from Cash Converters. The only reason I've really left that sticker on there is just to remind myself how much I got it for. Not often you see a computer game going for this cheap. Unfortunately, there was a few more SNES games that I just missed out on going for £1.49, and I had so many bargains from this Cash Converters at the time. It's closed down now, so unfortunately I can't get the bargains from there anymore. But it's a brilliant game. It's quite tough, but I love it all the same. Next up, Paperboy 2. Again, original game that I had from when I was younger. Not too bad on the coloration on it. Again, a difficult game, but when you play it quite often, you do get more used to playing it. And I'm not saying it gets easier, but it's more fun to play with practice. So, you know, pretty good game. Not played it very often recently over the last couple of years, so looking forward to getting back into it again. So next up we've got Desert Strike. I think this is one of 3 games of this type for the system. It's an absolutely fantastic game, love it. Um, you're basically like an Apache helicopter pilot, and you've got to go around, pick up fuel, try and destroy the enemy base, and save hostages. It's an isometric type game, which makes it a really good view for playing, a bit different from side scrolling and things like that. And like I say, absolutely love it. Hard as nails, and like the rest, looking forward to getting used to it and seeing if I can get further than I normally do, which is probably past the first level, to be honest. By the way, these games aren't in any particular order, they're just however I put them in the boxes, so it is what it is. Super Bomberman, absolutely classic game, absolutely brilliant. Top-down puzzle game, original game as well from when I was a child. You can have up to 4 players with the multi-tap, I believe, which is great fun for when you've got friends around, if you've got friends unlike myself. And I just had a hell of a lot of fun over the years. Never managed to beat it. I'm hoping so now that I'm a bit older. I'm going to be looking forward to buying the 2nd and 3rd. I'm not sure if the 4th is available for PAL, but I think there's 4 and 5, which may be for the Super Famicom. I could be wrong. That might be for PAL. If so, then that's great stuff, and I look forward to getting that as well. Next game, Super Mario All-Stars. Now, I'm part of a retro gaming podcast called RGDS Podcast, which is a retro gaming discussion show. And just today, this very morning, with the main host and myself, we talked about the Super Mario Bros. 2. We did a Let's Play on it, and we both absolutely love it. You know, we described it like a bit of Marmite, that you either love it or hate it. And if you didn't know, the lost levels on this game is the original Super Mario Bros. 2 that was supposed to be released. It was a Japanese only release in the end, but Nintendo of America felt that it was too difficult a game to be released for a Western audience, and to be honest, they're not far wrong, because it is a difficult game. It's a great compilation. Obviously, this isn't the version with Super Mario World, which is, you know, it's only a better version because it's got that on there as well. But I do have Super Mario World on a cart. Again, original game, so great stuff. PGA Tour Golf. Now, I say I don't like sports games, but I'm a bit of a sucker when it comes to stuff like, when it comes to golf games and tennis games and stuff like that. Just, you know, just the really simple basic sports. I can't get into the football games so much. I can't get into the rugby games as much, or the American football style games, because I never really played them, so I don't really know how they work. So I just can't be bothered learning them, to be honest. I've not played this yet. I think I bought this on eBay for about $2.99, I think, and I think that may have been with postage and package. Nice bit of filler for the games collection, but I will get around to playing it at some point. As I say, I do plan to be playing all of the games in my collection again, in various gameplay videos, even the ones that I'm dreading the idea of playing again. Mortal Kombat. Original game. I think I probably had about 20-25 of my original games from when I was younger. Stupidly, there used to be a game shop which wasn't too far from where I lived, and the guy that ran it, to be honest, he was a bit of a scam, because me and my best friend growing up, Mark, we used to go there quite often. We'd trade in our games. And when it came to Super Nintendo games, we'd have to trade in like 3 or 4 games just to get one. And, you know, of course, without my dad there, he just completely took advantage of the fact that we weren't adults and we didn't really know what anything was worth and stuff like that. And I quite often refer to some of these games that I gave away as highly sought after games now, you know, and games that I want to get back into my collection because I traded them in at the time because I either didn't enjoy them or found them too hard. Now that I'm older and I've seen various gameplays on some of these games that I've been looking through, just reflecting on them and things, I want them back again now. And it's, you know, the likes of the Lost Vikings, Joe Mac Caveman Ninja and stuff like that. You know, quite highly sought after games, go for, you know, quite a fair price. I'm a bit I'm a bit of a tight arse, to be honest, so but I'm hoping to get them again in the future at some point. But as I say, Mortal Kombat, I don't really remember too much about this version. Not played it for a very long time, but you know, again, great to be in the collection. The Snes scope. Now, I'm trying to think about how this came about, getting this game. I think I acquired it, which I won't go into too much detail about, but that with the scope as well. So I've never played it at the moment, just haven't got round to it. Hadn't found the time, but you know, nowadays I've got plenty of time too. So I know there's obviously it's called Nintendo Scope 6 because there's 6 games in it, and from what I understand, I don't think it's a bad game at all. You know, it doesn't go for a lot of money, and again, looking forward to trying it out. You know, I think I had it back in the day when I was younger. Obviously, I played it then, but that was when I was very young, probably about 6 or 7, and I just have no memories of it at all. Pinocchio, this would either be one of two things. Either an eBay purchase, or this would have been from Play Blackpool, probably 2014, I think. Graphically stunning, absolutely gorgeous visuals, side scroller. I think it's quite hard from what I played of it. I've only briefly played it, and you know, it's just got a really difficult learning curve to it, so I'm just going to get my ass handed to me in this, I think. Revolution X. I believe I did play it, but I've never had, it's not an original one. eBay win for about £3 or £4 with postage. Don't hear great things about this version, to be honest, but I know that there's an arcade version, and I've got Coinox running in the background, and I do have an EMS Top Gun 3 light gun, so at some point I'm going to be doing a light gun video with the games that work on Coinox, which I'm really looking forward to doing. There's some brilliant games, and I know that Revolution X is on there somewhere. Pilot Wings, original game, played it a bit when I was younger, probably a bit too difficult for me at the time, so I didn't play it a hell of a lot. Probably played it again about 10 years ago when an old friend of mine showed me how to play it. He said it was a brilliant game, showed me how to play it, quite tough, but it wasn't bad, and I think from what I remember it's got Mode 7 graphics as well. Soccer Kid. Now, this isn't a football game at all, it's a side-scrolling sort of platform game. It's also known as Kid Cleats in USA, I think, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. I love it. You're going along, you've got just still cars, still buses and things like that, that they're not going anywhere, they're just in the on the background, or part of the environment. You jump onto fire hydrants and jump onto the top of the cars and the buses and things, and trying to avoid people who, you get someone skateboarding who tries to run you over. You get people trying to walk into you and take your health. There's little bits where you drop down to the lower ground. I think it's supposed to represent either a subway or a sewer, and you get little rats in there, and you basically use the ball as your weapon and you kick it into the enemies and it comes back to you. If it doesn't come back to you because you haven't hit anything, you've got to go and find it, but you can respawn it. The clever thing about it is you can do things like you do kick-ups with the ball and you kick it up into the air, so you can get some of your items above that you can't reach. Also, you can also use it, you can bounce on top of the ball and bounce on top of it to get to higher hard to reach area and items as well. So I'm down to the last couple of things. I hope I haven't bored you too much in this video. Next game is quite odd because it's a game that I've been wanting for ages now, and I didn't realise that I actually owned it, which is just completely daft. And I think I've owned it quite a while but never played it, which is even dafter, to be honest. But I think the trouble is I'm getting more and more back into my retro stuff lately over the last probably 3 or 4 years, and when it comes to playing the Snes especially, I just tend to go back to the games that I really know that I loved and enjoyed. So I've probably just one that I've just missed out on. It's always looked great, and it is Stunt Race FX. So can't really say much more else about it other than that, but like some of the others, I'm looking forward to giving it a go. And finally, I have the Super Game Boy adapter. Use it a little bit, not too much over the years. Again, it's original piece of kit I had from when I was younger. I've got a lot more Game Boy games now. Unfortunately, I've checked my Game Boy over recently because my good friend Garen kindly gave me I think it was the Hyperboy, which the Game Boy goes into, but my Game Boy doesn't work. So until I get another working Game Boy, I'm gonna use this on the Snes. Great excuse to get going again. So that was box 1, part 1 of my Snes collection, of my overall collection. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I'd be really grateful. So thanks guys, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.